You know that one person who somehow never joins in when everyone else starts whispering about someone who's not in the room? The I'd rather not say anything type? The one quietly sipping their coffee while the rest of the group leans in like it's a secret meeting of the CIA? Maybe it's at work. Maybe it's in your friend circle. There's a moment of silence. Then someone says, "So did you hear what happened to?" And just as the gossip begins, that one person politely changes the subject. They're not rude, they're not awkward, they just don't bite. And it makes you wonder what's going on in their head. Is it self-control, a moral code, or do they just not care about anyone's drama? Because here's the thing, in a world where gossip fuels group chats, algorithms, and lunchtime conversations, the people who stay out of it are psychological outliers. And their silence, it says a lot about them. Let's break down the hidden psychology of people who never gossip, and yes, maybe you'll find a piece of yourself here too. The grounded observer. First, there's the grounded observer. This person is calm, steady, and deeply aware of how words move through social circles like wildfire. They've probably seen firsthand how gossip twists truth like a game of broken telephone. Imagine a coworker named Maya. She hears two team members whispering about someone's rumored mistake. Maya listens for about 3 seconds, then shrugs, "I'm not sure that's true," and turns back to her work. No drama, no judgment, just done. On the surface, that looks like maturity, but psychologically, it's more than that. The grounded observer usually scores high on emotional intelligence and self-regulation. They understand that gossip is often less about truth and more about belonging, a quick way for people to bond over shared opinions. But because the observer's sense of identity doesn't depend on social validation, they don't need that hit of inclusion. They tend to find meaning in stability, integrity, or results, quiet strengths that don't announce themselves. Where others crave reactions, they crave peace. And if you're thinking, maybe that's me, you're probably the person who sees gossip not as entertainment, but as a waste of energy, the detached minimalist. Then there's the detached minimalist, the person who just doesn't care about the social chaos. You'll find them in the corner of group chats replying days later with a single emoji. It's not that they're cold or antisocial, they simply have a limited mental bandwidth and prefer to spend it elsewhere. When conversations turn toward gossip, their brain categorizes it like spam. Irrelevant, low value, not worth opening. Psychologically, these people often lean toward introversion and low social monitoring. That means they don't obsess over how others see them, and they don't feel the need to manage impressions. Their attention turns inward to ideas, hobbies, or deeper goals. Imagine someone asking them, "Hey, did you hear what happened with," and they genuinely blink in confusion. Not pretending they really don't know, gossip just doesn't register because their social radar is tuned to a different frequency. Ironically, this kind of detachment can make them more mysterious. People start gossiping about them instead, which, to a detached minimalist, just means more noise to ignore. The hyper-empath. Then there's the hyper-empath. People who could gossip but choose not to, because they know the sting of being talked about. They might have been the target once, or maybe they felt how isolating it is to realize someone shared their story without permission. So now, empathy acts as a quiet firewall. These people are emotionally intuitive. When gossip begins, they feel discomfort, not guilt exactly, but a kind of moral friction. They might change the subject or gently defend the absent person without making it awkward. Maybe they're going through something. This is emotional intelligence wrapped in compassion. Interestingly, psychologists link this to high agreeableness and secure attachment styles. Because they feel safe in themselves, they don't need to put others down to elevate their own position in the group. And here's the twist. The hyper-empath isn't naive. They don't live in a fantasy of everyone's good. They're just consciously choosing not to spread negativity, knowing how contagious it can be. The strategic thinker. Now, meet the strategic thinker, the person who doesn't gossip, not out of morality, but out of strategy. They've realized that gossip exposes more about the gossiper than the subject, that every judgment you make in private reflects your reliability in public, and in work, leadership, or reputation games, that's a risk they won't take. Picture a manager who smiles when someone says, "Between us, don't tell anyone but," and calmly replies, "If it's between us, you probably shouldn't tell me either." That's not avoidance, that's self-preservation. Psychologically, strategic thinkers show traits of conscientiousness and strong future orientation. They think about long-term consequences, not just quick social approval. They guard trust like currency. They understand something subtle, words shape perception, and perception shapes opportunity. Keeping their mouths shut isn't politeness, it's power, the spiritually aligned. And finally, there's the spiritually aligned type. The ones who believe gossip pollutes their mental state. They see it as emotional junk food, tempting, easy, but ultimately draining. You'll find them saying things like, "I don't like speaking about people when they're not here," or "That's not my story to tell." Their avoidance of gossip comes from values, not social awareness. Maybe they meditate, journal, or practice mindfulness. They understand how words carry energy, and speaking negatively about someone creates internal noise that blocks peace. In psychological terms, they often score high in self-transcendence or mindfulness awareness. For them, gossip isn't moral versus immoral, it's about vibration. They want to keep theirs clean. And maybe that's why you feel calmer after spending time with them. Because while gossip bonds through negativity, this type connects through presence. So when you meet someone who never gossips, remember it's rarely about being boring, uptight, or out of the loop. It's a reflection of mindset, identity, or deeper emotional intelligence. Maybe they protect their energy like currency. Maybe they're quietly analyzing patterns instead of people. Or maybe they've just evolved past the need to compare, compete, and comment. Gossip may make us feel temporarily connected, but it often disconnects us from something deeper: trust, integrity, and authenticity. So ask yourself, which type resonates most with you? Are you the calm observer, the detached minimalist, the empath, the strategist, or the spiritually aligned one trying to keep your peace in a noisy world? Because in a culture built on talking, the real power might just belong to those who don't.